Welcome to day 18 of the 28-day photo challenge. Today we're looking at abstract photography. What are we looking at? I don't know, but let's explain it along the way. I was about to go inside and start editing the video from yesterday, but I just have a bunch of examples out here for shooting abstract photography. This is, it's easy, but it's not. It's kind of hard to explain. So basically for abstract photography, you want to have no rules with rules, if that makes sense. So abstract photography can be, anything. It's abstract. However, there are some rules that you want to follow. Right here, if I just take a picture of all this crap that's on the floor, and I say that's abstract, no, it's not. It's not abstract. It's just a mess. However, if I come over here and take a picture of this extension cord that's on the door, and now I can start using some rules on this, like the rules of thirds, so I can take this portion of the extension cord with the barcode on it, and I'll make that the lower third and then center it, so that way that middle cube is right about here. Now we have abstract, because everything's going everywhere and nothing actually lines up, but we're applying rules into it. So now if I just take that bottom line and I line it right up with the extension cord, and now I take a picture, that is abstract photography. Because nothing about this shot at all makes any sense. Nothing is going in any one direction, and yet we've still applied photography rules to it to capture it, make it look somewhat neat without actually having any sort of leading lines that go anywhere. As well as kind of like introducing just like a little bit of negative space or whatever. Now, you can strongly apply rules to this in the sense of like my toolbox. So now we have a few different elements in here, but they all have perfectly straight lines. Like all of the drawers, all of the handles, the cutouts, the blacked out Maximum logo, and then the Audi logo on top. Because, like, Audi mechanic. So now what I'm going to do is have that in the upper right corner, and everything else is just going to flow out however it does. So this is going to be the accent piece, but then we're going to have all of these abstract kind of drawers filling up the majority of the photo, which is going to accent that as the centerpiece, but then have interesting lines going across the entire frame. So now I want to come pretty much straight with this. So I'm going straight across and not having any sort of warping because there's so many different straight lines. We've applied tons of rules to the picture and kept every straight edge going perfectly vertical or perfectly horizontal. Third example, I'm absolutely freezing, but I kind of want to get this done. Parallel lines. I was going to use these drill bits, but like some of them aren't like perfect because quality control. I'll just have right there. Okay, so now we have these straight up and down, and this is going perfectly straight. However, I'm going to make the focal point right around here where like these welds or whatever broke from like when I bought it. And then in the side of the picture, we're going to have these drill bits adding bokeh, but also straight up and down. So everything is kind of like symmetrical. It's still making straight lines, but it's not a completely parallel picture where everything is the same. Now I'm going to be zooming in at 70 for this one, so it's all the way in, and I'm going to have the bokeh very strong on this one. So I'm going to manually focus this. Now the accent point is going to be right here. That's it. That's all I want to have in focus because it's abstract. We're not supposed to know what's going on. So if I just come down to about here, rack the focus out until we're just touching the end. Now I will just use the rule of thirds to keep that vertical line right here going directly up toward the left rule of third line, like the vertical one. And the horizontal one is going to go right across here. So that's going to be the rule of third cross point. And that's pretty much all there is to it with abstract photography. Is it's abstract. You don't have to know what's going on. There's essentially no rules, and you could take a picture of anything from any angle, but if you introduce rules to it, but using them loosely, then you can actually like achieve something pretty cool and still not really know exactly what it is at first because it's abstract. You have to look at it for a while to kind of understand. It's something that you can look at for a while and just kind of like take it in, like you can observe it, like this extension cord. There's so many different angles, so it kind of takes you a minute to kind of figure out what it is. With the toolbox, most people, like mechanics or whatever, are going to know what that is right away, but some people won't. And just because it's all one single color, and that's not a common design for a toolbox, we just have tons of contrast in that. All different angles, different patterns, different lines going through it. And we come down to the vise with the drill bits, and again, it just has like an absurd amount of bokeh bokeh in that picture, so there's only one tiny focal point with a little bit of accent bokeh in the background on the drill bits, so that's just adding a little bit of accent color. And realistically, that last picture, most people aren't gonna know what that is right away because nothing in it is clear, but it still makes you look at it for some reason. And that is abstract photography. There's no rules while using rules. So hopefully you got something out of this. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. That's cool. That helps out. Or don't do any of it. I'm not telling you what to do.